Hey guys, welcome to the MMA Brothers podcast, the newest, baddest, and best podcast out there. And let's get it going. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the MMA Brothers podcast. We have a news weekly roundup this week, and here's my co-partner here, Asher.
What's good, guys? We're back with another another weekly news episode, tongue twister. And yes, we have another 5 topics today where we're going to discuss. So there's been a little bit of good news that's broken this week with regards to a few people. So today we're going to talk about Floyd Mayweather. Yeah! He was pictured with Dana White, and he's got some news coming in the future. We have some John Jones news. We have Khabib and Ferguson. We're going to talk about Henry Cejudo, and we're going to talk about Chris Weidman's career. So those are our 5 topics for today. And so starting with the first one, we're going to talk about Floyd Mayweather.
So Floyd has been pictured with Dana White saying that, they got some big news coming, and, he's most likely going to fight one of the UFC fighters if it's a co-promotion with Dana White, seeing as he's the president of the UFC. So I'm thinking he's going to fight George Masvidal just because George has been calling out Canelo Alvarez, talking about I put him to sleep, yada, yada, yada. And I don't really see McGregor versus Mayweather 2 selling out just as much, just based off the fact that he got TKO'd in the first fight, then lost to Khabib when he came back. But I would like to see the resurrection of Jesus, the Cuban Jesus Christ, take a crack at Floyd Mayweather. And this is what Masvidal had to say.
In the morning, but I don't like this dude, man. Before my alarm goes off, I'm already awake. I want to break his fucking face, man. I want
to... Yeah, he wasn't saying that about Floyd, but you know what I mean. That's game bread for you.
Nah, the thing is, I don't believe that Masvidal's going to get the fight. TJ Dillashaw's come out saying he wants to fight him. All these different fighters
man,
in the UFC.
Let's give a guy who's a cheat one of his biggest paydays.
A guy who was an EPO. Yeah,
let's reward an EPO guy with a title fight against Floyd. That makes a lot of sense.
And also, Khabib was also saying he wants to fight, and obviously Conor wants to fight him too.
Khabib doesn't make sense. Khabib's boxing is trash.
Yeah. So I have a little clip here. So how many times has Floyd Mayweather come out of retirement? I don't know. Let's see.
Not one. LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
Actually, this is the 5th time he's come out of retirement, guys. That's crazy.
He's a legend.
I'm like, fam, how many are you gonna retire and retire? A man is 42 years old, and you know how he feels every time he retires. This is what he thinks to the public every time he thinks that people are gonna believe him every time he retires. He's playing the public for a fool, man. But I guess that's for it. So we're going to have to wait and see what comes up of this because Zuffa, which is the parent company that owns the UFC, they're branching into boxing. So maybe they have some deal with Floyd that they got set up. Who knows? But I'm sure we'll find out in the next few months.
Boxing versus mixed martial arts is a very stark difference in terms of the excitement factor of the fights.
Yeah.
So I don't really see... Even if they do try to venture into boxing, it being that successful, because there's not much you can change about the sport just because you run the promotions, right? The fights are still going to be guys evading, just punches. There's no elbows, no kicks, no takedowns, no grappling, no nothing, right?
I agree that MMA is more exciting than UFC, but you never know. Dana White may have some other promotional things that he's got up his sleeve to make UFC more boxing more exciting. I mean,
yeah.
But
we're gonna move on to Reyes and John Jones.
Yep.
Which has been booked for early next year, I believe, in Houston, Texas.
Yep, February 8th in Houston, Texas.
Yeah. So I'm kind of excited about the fight. Just because Dominic is just a classic, it's my time, he's not really saying anything. Sounds like he's trying to convince himself more than anything that he's got what it takes to go in there and beat John Jones. But John Jones has faced power punches before, and once you escape the first round, you're pretty much nullified. I think Thiago Santos was a much more dangerous opponent than Dominic Reyes. Yes, Reyes is longer. Yes, Jones has had trouble with length in the past, but look what he did to Gustafsson when he adequately prepared for him. So I think Jones is going to be a decision, but it's going to be a very easy decision in favor of John Jones. He's just going to, evade those long strikes that Dominic likes to throw from the outside, slip him, get in, grapple him, take him down, and just beat him up for 5 rounds, and then we're just gonna understand that he's nowhere near on the level of John Jones.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think Dominic Reyes has a lot of potential, and I just think this is too early for him. I think he's 13-0, and John Jones is pretty much 27-0 now, and he's fought everybody that he's needed to fight. The one thing that Dominic Reyes has actually, I think, is like the second opponent in John Jones' career that's actually younger than him. John Jones is 32, and Dominic Reyes, I think, is 29 or something like that. And so this is only the second time in Jones' career that he's fought someone younger than him. Anthony Smith was younger than him too. So from that standpoint, John Jones, he says he wants to be the greatest of all time. He wants to fight some of these younger guys, the up-and-coming guys. And then for me, if he gets the job done against Reyes, which I assume he's going to do, take him into the deeper rounds, maybe ground and pound him, take him down and all that stuff in like maybe round 4 or 5, I believe that it's time for Jones to move up, because like who else are we going to wait for him to fight in light heavyweight? It's getting pretty boring, you know what I mean?
So yeah, he's definitely gonna have to move up to heavyweight. That's something I see happening in the very near future. But I hope he doesn't move up to heavyweight before he fights with Adesanya, because the back and forth on social media is quite an interesting thing to behold, because Adesanya makes it seem like Adesanya is 22 and Jones is 45, when realistically he's 2 years younger, and he's trying to play a game that John is the old head and he's the new guy in the school, and then, well, you're only 2 years younger than the guy, man. So
yeah,
it's not really that big of a difference. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about Cejudo's next opponent, and I don't know if it's just me, guys. I would love to hear your opinion, but I hate Cejudo. Like, there's nothing he does that makes me want to watch his fights. Like, he's so boring. Yeah.
Sorry about the phone call, guys.
Yeah, so Cejudo, he has a very boring style. He's kind of like Khabib, except Khabib, his persona is what makes people want to tune into the fight. Like, he's going to take you down, he's going to hold you there, wrap up your legs with his legs, and he's going to beat you up. Cejudo has a very similar style. Yes, he's the Triple C. Yes, but I just can't stand the guy, man. I can't, man. He's so cringy.
I love the guy. I think he's so funny. Like, everything he says to me is hilarious. He's talked about fighting Valentina Shevchenko and fighting Amanda Nunes. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't be girls.
Honestly, guys, just listen to this little prick just talking, man. This guy pisses me off.
It's the Cejudo weight division. They can all get it. Flyweights, bantamweights. They can all bend the knee to Triple C. That's what I think.
God.
Hey, you gotta make it work. You know, Conor has your shtick, Mayweather has your shtick, and now Henry Cejudo's doing his own thing. So you gotta respect that. You know what I mean?
I really don't have to respect it, man.
Even Kobe is probably a nice guy in real life, but he just has this persona out there. And
everyone knows Kobe's fake.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Kobe's fake.
So in terms of Cejudo's fight career, he fought twice in 2019 this year, and I think he last fought in June. So he beat TJ Dillashaw at 125. Then he went up and he fought.
Honestly, guys, sorry to cut you off. I just got this for Cejudo.
So it's
boo, boo.
Nah, I rate the guy, bro, Cejudo. So, he fought in both weight classes this year, and he beat Marlon Moraes in June. And in that fight, he was getting pieced up on the feet. His legs were just getting kicked, and then he just kept walking forward, throwing punches and beating him up, taking him down, and then he finished the fight. And in terms of his next fight, so technically, based on the timeline, he should fight at 125, because last time he fought there was in January. But I would like to see Henry Cejudo fight Dominic Cruz. Who do you think he should fight next?
Honestly, he's one of those guys where I don't really care who he fights next, because all he's going to do is make me more pissed off. So I don't really care. I just hope he loses one of his belts, then comes back, defends the other belt, loses that belt too. Hopefully to Cody Garbrandt or someone. I don't know. Someone who's exciting to watch and it's fun. Can't stand this guy bringing a crown to the fight. He's got like a royal family, like kind of like poncho thing on. I can't stand
the thing about how elite that is. Olympic gold medal.
I don't care.
And double UFC champion in 2 different weight divisions.
Okay, can we move on to Khabib, please?
Anyways, I'd like to see Cejudo fight Dominic Cruz. Let's move on to Khabib.
Yes, and this is what a real champ sounds like.
And but if you wanna find me, please just send me location. Send me location.
See, that's a real man, not bend your knee to the Triple C, yada yada yada. And then another real champ, just like Khabib, said this as well, who is also Khabib.
This fight is biggest fight in UFC history.
I want to fight with your chicken because this is number one easy fight in lightweight division.
Yep, and he was talking about Conor McGregor, but that same thing could be applied to Tony Ferguson. I think Tony is the guy to beat Khabib based off the fact that he's one of those guys where he genuinely does not care if you take him down. Like you could crack Tony Ferguson to the point where, you know, he's seeing 6s and 7s, and then you go on the ground, and then he'll armbar you. You're like, how is that even possible? I've seen Tony get hurt, get dropped. It's like the moment you drop Tony is when he gets excited to fight you then, right? Then he's an animal. On the feet, he's throwing spinning elbows, he's flying knees, he's throwing jumping side kicks. I'm like, oh my God.
Nah, Tony Ferguson is really, really good. So in case you guys didn't know, the fight's now official. Khabib is officially fighting Tony Ferguson. I think it's April 18th in Brooklyn. And yeah, I'm really excited for this fight. I think this is the 5th time they've booked this fight. It's been falling through so many times.
Not one.
Not two.
Not 3.
No.
Not 4. It's too late for it, man. It's too late for it.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
Yeah,
Not
it was
6.
5. It was 5. It was 5. So, yeah, this is the 5th time that they've put this fight together, and I really, really hope it goes through. Maybe the 5th time's a charm, but I think this is obviously going to be one of the bigger fights that the UFC puts together. I don't want to bet against Khabib because Tony Ferguson does get taken down, and like I know Tony is nice on the ground with his submission skills, but I feel like Khabib wouldn't take too many risks on the ground. You know, he would tie up.
But no one likes taking risks on the ground though. Tony's gonna bait you into thinking, oh, I've got him in full mount. Let me just, let me
but
throw down
Khabib
strikes.
rarely goes into full mount position. That's what I'm saying. Like Khabib will probably just tie up Tony Ferguson's legs and then just punch him and punch him and punch. You just keep punching him for 5 rounds. He wouldn't even put himself in a position where he might get submitted. You know what I mean? I can just see Khabib doing that nonstop.
He's on a 12-fight win streak, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I know, but Tony, like, his takedown defense isn't that nice.
Because his ground game is disgusting.
Like, he's nice on the feet and everywhere else. Like, trust me, like, he would piece up Khabib in the feet. It's just that I know that Khabib will, like, take him down and he won't take any risks on the ground. Just keep punching. You know how he fights, right? Like, you just keep punching.
Yes, but he almost got choked out by fucking Dustin Poirier.
By guillotine. That one was just, like, whatever.
What
like,
do you mean it was whatever? He was literally seconds away. Probably, okay, not seconds. I would say...
He got out of the submission, so he wasn't seconds away. What do you mean?
When he popped out, he literally said it after the fight. He was like, yo, like, that choke was in. Even Poirier said that choke was in.
Yeah.
The fact that Poirier's arms gassed out is the only reason he was able to get out. Because he was just standing there in that position. Then he finally, when Dustin was running out of gas, hopped over the hip, right? And then popped his head out.
Yeah.
If he literally, Dustin had been I don't know if Dustin's a black belt, but if Dustin had Tony's submission skills, that fight would have been over. So you put himself in a bad position against someone who can still choke him out. So if he does the same thing against Tony, he's going to pay the full price. He got cracked against Poirier. He got cracked against, who else cracked
Michael
him?
Johnson.
Michael Johnson cracked him. He got wheel kicked by Barboza. I don't know how he ate that and just kept moving forward. But Khabib is very hittable. And then when Tony hits you, he doesn't look like he's a power puncher. Look at what happened to Donald Cerrone. Look what happened to all his other previous fighters that have fallen before him, right? Mm-hmm. So I really think that Tony's gonna take it and bring it home. And I just hope Khabib comes out to Rasputin, the song, as his entrance music.
There's literally zero chance that Khabib would come out to that song.
The song? I come, I smash.
I come for smash, Tony Ferguson. This is more likely what's gonna happen.
What time is it then? Please tell me.
It's Tony time, bitches.
It's tiramisu time.
He's one weird guy.
Tony Ferguson is a weird guy.
Yeah, but let's move on to the
last
final one, which we won't take too much time with, is Weidman. Mm-hmm. Now, Chris Weidman's had a lovely career. He's been he's been KO'd a couple times.
You laugh, but he actually has had a wonderful career. I think he defended the title like 3 times at
twice.
middleweight.
I think it was twice.
No, he beat Ederson Silva twice, so that's 1 defense.
Yeah, but one of them
beat
he won.
Machida. Yeah, so that's 1 defense against Ederson Silva. That's 1. You beat Machida, that's 2. You beat Belfort, that's 3. So he has 3 title defenses, and he lost to Luke Rockhold. But like Daryl said, he's lost 5 out of his last 6 by TKO, which
And there's been some pretty bad ones.
yeah, some of them have
Jacare.
been brutal. So
He said he didn't suffer any long-term damage from his KO from Dominic. Was it Reyes, his last fight?
yeah, Reyes.
Yeah. He said, it came out of there. Doctor said no concussion. No, I'm like, oh, well, then your chin's just paper, guy.
How
His chin's
do you
paper.
get KO'd and not have a concussion? To me, that doesn't make any sense. I guess my definition of concussion is just different. But like, there's no man that just gets KO'd. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, bro, your brain got shook. Like, what
honestly,
do you mean?
Overeem tweeted after the fight with Ngannou. He's like, yeah, I'm totally fine, guys. There's nothing to be concerned about. I'm like, you got blasted with a left uppercut from, I don't even know.
Cameroon, man.
He was the strength of Africa and that guy's chin, man. It was mad. But just like Dana White, I share the same testament about Chris Weidman.
Just he's had a good career. He's been a great fighter. I'd like to see him hang it up.
Yeah, that's the similar opinion I have.
I think
Chris, you've had a lovely career. Your chin just keeps getting more worn down fight by fight. And it's not nice of me to laugh and enjoy other people's misfortune, but he needs to realize if he wants to fight in the undercard or in the prelims or whatever against guys who aren't as good that we can get his confidence back, by all means, go ahead. But it seems like every time he's touched in the jaw, he's down. Like, the moment you crack him with a decent shot, he's out.
You know, the thing is, though, with Weidman is that his other fights have been very competitive. Like, he was getting KO'd in, like, against Luke Rockhold in the 4th round. I think maybe against Masasi he was in the 2nd round or 3rd round. I can't remember. But against Romero was in the third round. And then against Reyes, it was in the 1st round. That's the only one where he got knocked out pretty quickly. Jacare was the 3rd round. So this is his last fight is the only fight where he's been stopped in the 1st round. So I think
he's still receiving all that damage just to get KO'd.
Yeah, but like,
man,
it's not like he's getting bodied, is what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes.
So
I would much rather get a 1st round KO 3 fights in a row like James Vick than receive 4 or 5
I would not rather get KO'd 4 times in the 1st round like James Vick. That's crazy.
If you think about it, right? Sorry, guys, we're running a bit long. But if you think about it, you're going to take 5 rounds of punishment versus 1 round of punishment.
No,
not
I'm
even
talking
punishment.
about ego. I'm not even talking about damage on your body. I'm just saying that, like, he knows he can compete in the UFC against his fighters.
Yes, but he's competing in a losing manner.
Yeah, okay, whatever. So I think what he should do is take one more opponent, maybe like a guy ranked from like 15th to 10th in the light heavyweight division. If he cannot get the job done against that guy and he gets TKO'd, or maybe he loses a split decision, then it's like, bro, I just think it's time to hang it up.
Because the next fight for him would be Johnny Walker.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Johnny Walker would flying knee Weidman. It'd just be terrible, man.
Yeah. But, I think we're going to wrap it up. That's pretty much it for the podcast. So you guys know what to do. You don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all the podcasts that we have available. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on Instagram. You can follow us on MMA Brothers Pod. That's MMA Brothers POD.
And I just got one thing to say. All you other MMA podcasts got nothing on us, eh?
Can't touch this.
And one more thing. This is just Chris Weidman's dad, and we feel sorry for what we said about you, Chris, but you know your dad's got your back.
And this is still my boy!
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. See you guys.